Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome and great to have you in the session of the SAP Community YouTube channel. Today, we bring up the topic of security information and event management operations in our focus. Learn how to meet regulatory requirements, enhance security operation, and efficiently respond to critical events in your IT landscape by running SAP Enterprise Threat Detection, ETD, and SmarterSec managed service. I would like to welcome our speakers. We have Moritz Holešovský, who is Information Security Compliance Specialist at SAP, and Alexander Zellner, who is CEO and co-founder of SmarterSec. My name is Larissa Brinkmann from the SAP User Groups organization, and I'm your host. Feel free to post your questions via live chat on the YouTube so we can answer them at the end of the presentation. And now let's get started, and over to you, Alexander.
Yeah, thank you very much, Larissa, for this great introduction. I'm pretty excited to be able to speak today together with Moritz and give you all some special insight into our day-to-day ETD operations. So we prepared some content for today. We are giving you a short introduction into the speakers. So who's Moritz, who am I? And also give you a short company introduction on what is SmarterSec doing. We all believe you all know what SAP is doing already. So we will skip that part for this session and focus more on really the highlights out of the project phase and the operations phase. So we will starting in the project phase. You can also say it's the pre-go live project. We will highlight some challenges and achievements before we go over to the operations phase, where we present the key highlights, only some daily work routines we have, take a look into some standard operating procedures, and summarize it up with some benefits and key takeaways, and maybe why you should consider taking a MSSP into consideration for operating SAP ETD for yourself. And we will summarize everything or end up with a Q&A session where we hope you have a lot of questions for us. We're happy to answer that. All right, so let's start with the speaker's introduction. And Moritz, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Yeah, welcome from my side as well. And thank you, Larissa and Alex, for the introduction. Yeah, it's my first YouTube experience, so I'm really excited to do this here live. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and present my topic, my lovely topic, ETD Enterprise Threat Detection, to you guys. Yeah, my name is Jan Moritz Holešovský. Please name me only Moritz. My name is such too long. I'm working for SAP or with SAP in this area of security stuff since 2015. I'm starting on SAP side as a consultant. And my major focus was here to concentrate on the technical security stuff. And in this time, the ETD coming up, and I was one of the first consultants to go out with ETD, to have the first customer experience, and that was really nice in this time. It was completely new product, and I get a lot of experience with it and a lot of historical change with ETD. I was completely in line here. That means the event processor change or with the architecture stuff. After 3 years, I make a decision to drop out on SAP side. I had a short time on Continental for 2.5 years as an automotive company, and I do the same here, like technical SAP security stuff and so on. And in the COVID time, I think to come back to SAP, and I restart as a consultant here this time. The topics are completely the same here. So I was in charge for ETD, for technical security stuff, and so on. And after, I guess, nearly 3 years, I was asked, hey, Moritz, do you want to take over the responsibility from some kind of SOC lead, on the ETD side, And I was really happy about this because in my consulting time, I go to the customer and implement ETD and start with pattern design and security use case stuff and set up the monitoring. But I have never been the chance to be in operation charge. That means normally I was too expensive and I was kicked out of the project. And the operational task was completely on the customer side now. And with this option, on my new position as a project manager and SAP ETD SOC lead, I had the chance to be a part of the operation. And that was really, really nice for me to get this experience and how it work operation in real and not only in theoretical means. I guess it's first time from my side. I would like to hand over again to Alex.
Yeah, so I can of course add pretty lucky that you came back to SAP and took over the SOC lead in this area. That's where we first met. So my name is Alexander Zellner. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SmarterSec. We are a managed security service provider for SAP. I started my career at SAP in 2011. Was there as a working student, working in the account team for the German Telecom. I joined Virtual Forge in 2014. At that time, one of the leading sapsecurity suppliers in the area of custom code analysis. Stayed there for a couple of years until we got bought in 2019 from Onapsys. Stayed there 2 more years. Basically learned during that period, what does the SAP security market look like? What are the specific needs the customer have? And then 2021, I decided to found SmarterSec with 2 former colleagues. Basically to make things a little bit smarter than we did before. Basically 2 key areas I want to mention here. One is the area of highly automized developing security software, which we do on a daily basis. And as well deliver this as a managed security service to address the lack of resources and the lack of know-how within organizations, especially with a small SAP team. Short introduction to SmarterSec, what we are doing. So founded 2021, as said, we have our headquarters in Karlsruhe, Germany, a small subsidiary in Australia where we deliver the Asian Pacific market. Our team, it was always my responsibility to build up a team that has a strong SAP expertise. And I was able to realize that with some colleagues. And we have a great mixture in our team from senior or principal consultants that are doing security in SAP for more than 20 years. And on the other side, we have a very young development team who's bringing great new ideas into our SAP security space. Always a look at the team is always worth it because they are doing excellent work out of the customers. Maybe Moritz will name one of these opportunities later on. What is important to mention, we are independent managed security service provider. Basically, we have no external investors. So we are growing organically step by step and making our own rules, which is important for us to have the ability to decide whatever we want and what we think it's right for our customers. So what is SmarterSec doing on a daily basis? I will go without some marketing slides here, which show you that we have great services and products in place. I think for this session today, it's important to understand that we are on 2 areas in the cybersecurity and compliance space. The one side is the proactive side. When we are talking about proactive or preventive, we are meaning setting the system security on a high level, meaning we are taking care that the system is secured according to best practices in the market. Industry guidelines we can find, for example, from SAP, German SAP user group. So we are taking care of this in this side, basically of the system security as well as GDPR topics, where we check data for GDPR conformity. For this, we are using our own developed SmarterSec security platform, which is a zero footprint solution. One key thing, we don't need any installation to run it on the customer system. On the reactive side, we are partnering since day one with SAP as a partner, but also since quite a time as a customer. In the area of real-time threat detection, where we have this reactive side, log analysis, where we directly react to a cyber attack or to improper authorizations, especially, we are focusing solely on SAP Enterprise Threat Detection as the tool of choice within the market. Important to understand, we offer everything as a managed security service. So meaning we are taking over the whole operation for the security software to address, as said, the need if you don't have the resources internally or if you don't have know-how. If you are interested in learning more about SmarterSec, please just go on our website. Today we are focusing on the reactive side with SAP Enterprise Threat Detection. Before we go into the project phase, maybe what were the drivers or what are the challenges in the market at the moment? I believe we all know about the political situation and therefore, which is connected also the economic situation we are facing with, I think we have the peak in cybersecurity attacks out in the market, which we have never seen before. So I would say, when is the right timing to act and to secure your SAP systems? Because where are the crown jewels normally in it? It's in SAP if you run it. So we need to speed up, and I think it's the right timing, if you haven't acted there, that you act now. It also represents financial risks. Yeah. Nowadays, let's just assume car manufacturer is running its production line on an SAP system, which we have multiple of them here in Germany. So just imagine what it costs to have 1 hour of outage of the SAP system or the production line. Then we are talking about millions within minutes, right? So it represents a real financial risk at that time. And of course, the evolving regulatory landscape we see with NIS2, RCE, GDPR topics that are coming and giving us more and more regulations we need to follow. And of course, one of this is that if you are, for example, in NIS2 or in RCE or a critical infrastructure, you will need to have an automized security software in place that scans you for cyber attacks. And in our opinion, the tool of choice is only SAP ETD. Yeah, maybe Moritz, maybe you can give us, or maybe the audience is more interested in understanding what were the drivers on SAP side to, yeah, maybe to bring SAP ETD on to a next level.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Yeah, the first driver I would say, yes, it's quite an easy one because we are develop ETD. Yeah, so we are develop ETD from SAP side. That's a really important tool for us, and that's the reason why we use it. Yeah, but it's not the full view on it. Yeah, because we have here a clear strategy. Yeah, that means we will use ETD. Yeah, for all SAP application security related logs. Yeah, that is a tool we want like to use, and we would like to increase here the functionality. Yeah, that means all ABAP system, Java system, and so on we had on SAP side, yeah, they bring up the logs to ETD. And in addition, we are working on it to leverage our skill with SRS solution like Success Factors, Field Glass, and so on. So that was the strategy, a decision to do this with ETD. Yeah. The second part is, Alex has already mentioned it. Yeah, we have this legal requirements as well as all other companies has. So we have to fulfill NIS2 and CRITIS and GDPR requirements. And for this, the ETD tool is really helpful. Yeah, with it. Yeah, we have the SOCs compliance check on it. We use it for SOCs compliance and so on. It helps us here a lot. Yeah. Another really big point, yeah, it's more on the functional level of ETD. Yeah, it supports us to do the security monitoring. Yeah, and with this transparency we get with ETD. Yeah, we identify misuse or misconfiguration and so on, and we could increase our security posture levels. The security posture level or SAP security posture level is a KPI we have defined here for SAP security on our side, and this is really important for us. And with ETD, we have here a nice tool to support us here, yeah, in a broader manner. Yeah.
So basically, it was a mixture of, let's call it SAP runs SAP, which is always an important topic, and legal requirements, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, short introduction into ETD. I guess all of you know it. Yeah, maybe some short words to it. Yeah, ETD is named as a SIEM solution. Yeah, for SAP application logs. It's a major focus on it. Yeah, we take a look on different log types or logs and events, and they will be bring up to ETD, and then will be there analyzed. Yeah, and with this we can do some kind of security monitoring, identify threats or alerts with it, with our pattern we have defined. And in addition, it's possible to do some statistical analysis with it, and that comes up with some kind of anomaly detection or anomalies here. Yeah. It is based on the HANA database. Yeah, that's our core. Yeah, I already mentioned there was a lot of architecture switch in the past. Yeah, we started in 2015 with event stream processor. Then it comes up to HANA streaming, and we have now architecture with Kafka and the ETD streaming itself. But the central component HANA technology is still the same. Yeah, with this HANA we have some near real-time opportunities that we can analyze the logs near real-time, and it's really stable to use it. Yeah. From the content perspective, if you check the help side of ETD, you will get some information what kind of content will ship us if you make the decision to buy ETD or use ETD. Yeah, there are some predefined pattern. The pattern list is long, I guess nearly 200 predefined patterns are now available, but it's growing up monthly, quarterly, and there's a lot of development on the side. Yeah. Another point is with content, you get new SPs. Yeah. If the new SP release, there is additional content included. Yeah. And then you can use it to do the adjustment on the functional level and so on. Yeah. At the moment, we have over 400 customers worldwide. They're using ETD. And there's a big new development with the ETD cloud version. There's now still available. But yeah, maybe later more to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can say at this phase, we are running enterprise threat detection on premise for SAP at the moment. Although we know there's a cloud solution, we are in analysis of that for potential switches maybe later. That's just to mention.
Yeah. But I guess you're really interested in the project and how we had set up the project. Yeah, ETD was still available on SAP side. It was not completely new and not a completely new implementation or greenfield approach with ETD. It was still there and available. Yeah. But I've already mentioned I changed my job position, go from the consulting to the SAP IT and take over the lead of this SOC for ETD. And for me, it was really important to make here a basement and a clear foundation. And that was the time I come with SmarterSec together in this area. And we would like to say, okay, we make here a new kickstart with ETD and bring it up to a new foundation. That was the idea. But the ETD was still available. Yeah, Alex already mentioned it. We're using the on-prem version of ETD, not the cloud version at the moment. Yeah. So what is really important on the project phase? Yeah. How was the project to come up to a go live for operational ETD operation? Yeah, and to go live with the SOC service. Yeah. First, we come together and start up with a ramp-up phase. Yeah, the time was really limited. We have only 6 months to do this. Yeah, we started here with a clear ramp-up phase. We invited SmarterSec. Yeah, first we had a short introduction to each other and explain our different expectation. Yeah, but then it comes really fast that we need here this ramp-up phase to define 3 points. Yeah, the major or most important point is the target operating model. Yeah, this is a key driver or the key point for the operational. Yeah, on this target operating model, we discuss different processes. Yeah, really important. Yeah, because we would like to have the same understanding how we handle alerts. Yeah, end to end through our ETD, our SAP environment, and so on. That was really important to identify what happened with the alert, who will take over the alert, who is in charge for the alert, and how this alert go to our standard incident response process. That was really important, and this information was mandatory for SmarterSec to handle the service or bring it up the service to us. Yeah. Another important topic was to define SLAs. Yeah, if we set up such managed servers, we need these SLAs. We define this here on this phase. Yeah, we had some adjustment later on the project. Yeah, or if we are starting the operation stuff. Yeah, but this is really important here. We talked about different ticket processes. That means if something happened, maybe an alert occurs in our ETD landscape, we reached out the guy who has triggered the alert on the source system, and if we cannot reach up this guy, we need up some kind of ticketing to reach out the system owner directly and explain him, here is something wrong on your system. Yeah, for this we have to set up a ticket process. SmarterSec, the colleagues need here access to our ticketing tools and clarify this point. Yeah. Another really important part of this target operating model was the responsibilities. We set up some kind of hierarchy matrix, to have a clear picture of responsibilities. So you can imagine, the ETD is one puzzle in our big detection and response area, and we have to find here a way how we can integrate it here, And there was a lot of different teams in this invited here, and these teams, we have to find here a way who is in charge for the system, who is in charge for the alert, and how it goes up to the central reporting. We have to clarify this here in a clear hierarchy. Yeah, I've already talked about the process, how it works with the alerting and incident handling, who has to be informed, and so on. We have to think about different architecture stuff and sizing. It was not the major focus here, but it was important to talk about this to have a clearer picture in our target operating model that SmarterSec now how our architecture worked, because I've already mentioned the ETD was still available. We started here with next steps. We take a look on 5 patterns. This pattern was predefined and pre-used pattern. We already use this pattern, but it was really important to get this experience from SmarterSec, how they see this pattern. And we had here a lot of workshops, to start it up, how we implement this pattern, how we would like to test this pattern, what is the process documentation and the flow here. We set up some kind of templates for SOP, standard operating procedure. In the standard operating procedures, all steps or all pattern description are included, and what the SOC team has to do if such an alert from such pattern has happened, and how they can handle it and how they can mitigate this point. Another interesting topic was the go live support, how it works. We have a 2-tier landscape, one pre-productive system, for test, and this is our test environment. First, we start here with our pattern design and so on, and test it on our test environment, and then we transported it up to our productive system environment. And this was really important to align it with SmarterSec together. The last point in the ramp-up phase was the source system preparation. This is one other really important key driver if you would like to set up such a project. You have to take a look on our source system, how the log configuration looks like. It's recommended to set up some kind of standardization for log configuration, especially it comes up to security audit log, for example. For this, we had here a really nice session together with our security audit log development team from SAP side, and we define here some kind of a template for ETD related security audit log configuration. Because if you don't do this, you will have a problem later. That means the pattern you set up on your ETD system, this pattern expects some kind of special log types. If you set up the For example, the debugging and replace pattern, yeah, you need the CUL security audit log event. But if you have not configured it, yeah, on the source system, yeah, on your different source system, you will get a problem, yeah, because this pattern will not react if you don't have this log type configured on your source system, and that will be not logged, and then it cannot be transferred to ETD, yeah. We make here a final configuration proof. Yeah, that means we check all systems that are right configured. We use for it focus run in a combination, yeah, for validation check. Yeah, and we define some kind of log outage options. Yeah, this was really tricky. In the past, the functionality of ETD was only focused is a system dropout. Then ETD will get an information that there's something weird with the system and no logs will be delivered. But this was too easy. Yeah, we have different log types. Yeah, and the log types are important for us as well. And for this, we developed some kind of log outage solution to get the information as some log type drops out on the system, and we will see then that we with our log outage solution on ETD side that we are not losing any kind of logs via transfer, yeah, to ETD. The test operation, yeah, it was starting after our ramp-up phase. Yeah, we check up the different new pattern. Yeah, the 5 pattern was the starter point. Yeah, then we make a decision to set up new pattern to our ETD environment and increase the scope of our pattern. We do the same step what we have developed on our ramp-up phase, yeah, with testing, with documentation, and the go live support, and do this, yeah. Then we do some kind of training with our TOM. That means with our target operation model. That means we come together with SmarterSec, make some exercise, yeah, have a lot of communication, yeah, make some simulation of if an alert happens, yeah, how will SmarterSec handle it, and so on. That was all a preparation for our SOC lives and later our operations, yeah. Yes, and after 6 months, yeah, we're starting with this operation service, yeah, and we are live. So you see here the project and the preparation was really short. Yeah, we had a limited time, but it was, I guess, really successful that we start here with operation, and we feel us really good to do this on this time after 6 months. Yeah. And but one remark here, we already know on this time that this will be not our final operation mode here, yeah, because every time we start with this operation, every time we get new input and new development on it, and we have to adjust, for example, the target operating model. I guess at the moment we are running on version 4.0, yeah, and I guess next year we're running on 6.0 or something like this. Yeah, it's still in action and it's still in development. It never stops here. Yeah. Okay. Good. Then I would like to describe to you some highlights. Yeah, I already mentioned it. Yeah, it was for me a new experience to go out from the consulting, yeah, and see only implementation and the first steps with ETD. And now I'm in charge of operation to lead the ETD. And yeah, I've summarized here some special highlights. Yeah. My highlight number one was the quantity of logs or the amount of logs coming up to ETD. Yeah, so I've mentioned we connected a lot of systems from our source systems, APAP, Java, HANA, and we're starting with the cloud system and so on. And the number of logs are increasing a lot. Yeah, and I was really happy about this. Yeah, that yeah, the ETD can handle this log amount really fast, and that was not a problem. We have no performance issues or something like this. That works really stable. Yeah, but yeah, here again, it's really important. Yeah, that you only onboard log types, yeah, that you're using for your pattern. Yeah, we started with some log types like security out logs, business transaction logs, and so on, and this growing up time per time. Yeah. What I've already mentioned is the standardization. Alex, if you want, you come back to the overview slides. The standardization is really important as well. Yeah, I've already mentioned it that we use here for example, for the security audit logs, the development team, so the SAP security audit log development team, to set up here a clear standard. That's why I note. But other log types, yeah, we define here a standard for us as well. That means we have here a wiki site, all information are stored there, and we give the as a system owner from the different source system access here, and we check that these log types are still configured in our standard way. Yeah, that's really important. Yeah. Another nice functionalities. I was not aware about this so much, yeah, because that is not a functionality of ETD that's so much highlighted in the marketing slides or so on, yeah. But we are using ETD as a central log management tool for our SAP security application logs, yeah. That is really nice, yeah. And because all source system transfer the logs to ETD, they are stored in ETD, yeah, on a HANA database with hot and warm storage, yeah. And then will be transferred to our code storage system, yeah. That's connected to our ETD, and we have here a central access to this log, yeah. And especially it comes up to GDPR. Yeah, if you store logs, you need some kind of purpose, yeah, and you have to define some retention periods for this log. That can be all done on ETD itself centrally, yeah. And this is a really nice advantage, yeah. No one of the source system have to take care about this anymore, yeah. Important is here the combination. So log outage has to be implemented here. You have to be aware about this log outage, yeah. But if you have done this, that is really nice, yeah, that you use this, yeah. And especially for long-term forensic, yeah, you can get access here. You can provide here service, yeah. We had some compliance requests, yeah, to provide us some, yeah, information about logs, yeah. Then it was really easy. We jumped to our cold storage, yeah, write a command and extract the data that's needed to get an answer for the compliance request. Yeah, and that's quite nice functionality, and I really like it. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Yeah, number 3, less security findings, more improper operations. Yeah, we have 99.8% of our ETD alerts leading to improper operation. Yeah, I've seen the same picture on different customer. I was there, yeah, and I can approve it was the same situation on SAP side. Yeah, the ETD helps you here a lot. Yeah, you get a lot of information. You get a really high transparency about the system configuration, like RFC, like parameter change. You get information about authorization and so on. That is quite a lot. Yeah, and you can use this information really good to increase your security or improve your security posture levels. That is quite a nice functionality. Yeah. With this logs, you get transparency, and that's the reason why I like this log stuff so much. Yeah, it's really cool what you can done with this information, what you can do with this information. Yeah. A challenge for us was a little bit to initiate some kind of cleanup processes. That means if we identify some weird configuration or improper operation, yeah, what is the way to mitigate the stuff? Yeah. Especially from our case, we identify things we can handle it really fast. But I ask here a question for my position as a SOC leader: should we do this by our own? Yeah, and the small things, the small mitigation steps, I make the decision to do this by our own. But with big one, yeah, maybe some authorization projects or something like this, or misconfiguration in authorization error, that are quite big projects. Yeah, and I cannot handle this on my SOC position. And for this, the risk assessment or the risk management part is really important here. Yeah, that means if you identify here such big things, yeah, you can use your company risk assessment, yeah, or risk way to bring it up and make it visible to your management, and then you will find budget, I guess, and you will find here they will set up a new project for it. Yeah, but this was really nice experience. I've never seen it before. Yeah. Another point is here the integration of ETD in our incident response process. You can imagine, yeah, the incident response process on the SAP side was still there, yeah, but how it maps with ETD, yeah, and that was a lot of discussion with different teams here to bring up our end-to-end detection response process from ETD side directly with our standard incident response process, our general one from ETD. And this experience was really interesting for me because as a consultant, I've never seen this. Yeah, and I was not aware that there's a lot of discussion mandatory to clarify these processes. Yeah, so a key driver is integrate the ETD process, incident response process, in the general incident response process on your company. Really important. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, next one goes up to the source system log configuration. Yeah, it's the same. I've already mentioned it. Yeah, we need here clear guidance. Yeah, for security out logs, gateway logs, and so on. And this log outage solution, it's really mandatory that you can approve that all logs that are gathered on the source system are transferred to ETD, and then you can use the option as a central log management tool. Yeah. And point number 6, that was really interesting. Yeah, we do some kind of tabletop exercise. Yeah, we do this at the beginning in the ramp-up phase of our project. Yeah, but we do this regularly. That means once or 2 times a year we come together and we simulate some kind of attack. Yeah, and with this tabletop exercise we can train each other. Yeah, we can improve our process. Yeah, we improve our communication. Yeah, we triggered an alert. Yeah, and then we talked about this. Yeah, and this was really interesting, and I can really recommend it to do this. If you do ETD, do this on a regular basis. Yeah, this is really good for training and the continuous improvement process.
Okay. Yeah, I can absolutely add the tabletop exercises. We learned a lot from it, and it's always a good thing to implement this into your processes. So definitely a necessary one. Okay, thank you, Moritz, for sharing some key highlights here. I would just move on with, I would say our daily regular process. So give you some insights how our daily work looks like. The day always starts with a daily regular meeting, the CPIT. So meaning we are taking a look back, what happened yesterday, are there any critical activities we need to share with the project team, with Moritz and his team? What incidents have been handled by SmarterSec during the daily operation time? And we also plan, of course, are we adding new logs, new systems to ETD? Do an outlook and continuous improvement during our daily regular work. First step, if we get an alert, of course, we do the whole monitoring for alerts. We do a review of that. We see if we can add or group some alerts into an existing one, which have the same root cause. For that, we have standard operating procedures in place, as well as a pattern documentation. And this for every single pattern we have running on ETD. Why we have that, Moritz gave you some explanation before. It's just key that you are consistent with your alerting and investigations, and consistency is just key for moving on. If someone takes over, you need to have processes in place that everyone follows, right? So if we see an alert coming in, we take actions, we investigate, is this alert a true alert, if it's maybe a false positive. If we determine it as an existing one or an important one, we will open investigation for that. Of course, we also have some measurements we need to implement or we need to create here, status setting, updates on that. That's also described step by step in a standard operating procedure. These documents are very important for the daily work, and you should have them in place as well. You see we have SLAs marked here for alerting and investigations. Of course, we have SLAs agreed with SAP. So we have certain reaction times where we need to react on an alert, where we have to open an investigation and complete the investigation. Yeah. So what we do during an investigation, of course, we are looking into the source system. We are looking what happened. Maybe we are doing or adding more alerts to this investigation since it has the same root cause. We are also doing some forensic analysis. And therefore, it is important as an MSSP to have the understanding, not also on the reactive side, to be able to monitor, but also have the understanding on the preventive or the proactive side. What are the risks within the system? What happens if the profile parameters are wrongly set, if authorizations are wrong, if your system is not thoroughly patched? So these are all things you need to take into consideration. and you implement it in your daily work, in your investigations, the know-how. Of course, we have an end-user contact with all the evidences we have. We always have an end-user communication where we see, is there maybe a valid ticket for the action he did, or is it not? Do we have to integrate the managers as well here? Or are there any other critical areas? And this will be discussed with Moritz and his team directly. Of course, when we close an investigation, it's always important to do a post-incident or a post-investigation review on that. That's what we do on a regular basis, as well as propose mitigation activities. We just heard before, there are always some challenges within, especially big organizations like SAP. But the best thing is always to mitigate stuff in the first place, that you don't get an alert afterwards, right? Maybe you are interested in seeing how these documents are built up, and I will show you or give you a short glimpse on that. So first thing is the pattern documentation. Basically, it describes you what is the pattern doing and what are the filters that are implemented, etc. So it's a rather short document here. I took the pattern access to critical data tables via transactions. So in this case, access to the password hash tables or other sensitive data tables that are underlined in the value list critical database tables. Then you have the different filters for it, different runtimes when it's running. So this is an example which we can show you. Of course, additional notes and references. So the classical documentation for a pattern. It gets more detailed when we're talking about the SOP itself. Also, I brought you the same example here. You get, of course, the different version tables. You get a description of the scope from the system and the user, responsibilities, background. So everything when someone new comes in is described here. What's from a general perspective, but also from a technical perspective. How you do the analysis with SAP ETD. For example, you check which database table was accessed, if the access was successful. You check for other activities, so talking about related events, and then you do the analysis for the investigation in the source system, right? And I'm not going through it detail by detail. You see there's a step-by-step description for you as a customer where you can follow, or which we as a MSSP follow, especially during our projects. As said, it's important to have consistency here in these documents. Bringing again back the topic, why is it important to have an understanding of critical vulnerabilities in SAP from the preventive side? Of course, one mitigation step would be here, take away the authorizations, that not everybody can access the password hash tables. Another mitigation method, which I always see in our security risk assessments we are doing with our own platform, is that people are still using the old password hashes in the tables. Let's say B code or password. They are broken in the community. So with a regular laptop, for example, I can recalculate this within minutes and crack your passwords. There are tools in the markets like Check the Ripper, Hashcat. That's an important one. So maybe as one method, you can check that in your system as well. And don't use B code and password. Use PVD sorted hash. That's the actual hash that's not broken or not counted as broken at the moment in the community. So these are standard operating procedures, and as said, we have that for every single pattern we use in place. So concerning the time, we will speed a little bit up. Why should you use or maybe consider using a managed security service provider? In the best case, of course, us. So I hope you learned that we have a deep knowledge. We can fully optimize your SAP ETD landscape and bring the most value out of it for the money you spend. In that case, we have the understanding of risks and attack vectors for SAP, so we can help you in the mitigation phase. That's what we are doing on a daily basis with our customers. sitting on the SAP systems and mitigating directly. You get a proactive security management with us that involves assessments as well as incident response, exploit prevention, the industry standards. I would say 90% we have all read them and implemented them in our solutions and in our minds, of course. So we have a deep understanding also of GDPR topics and other compliance regulatories. And of course, from an MSSP, you can always, you always get good cost efficiency and flexibility because it's operated together with others, right? Maybe Moritz, also here, the most important things for the audience would be why SAP chose SmarterSec at the end of the day to be their MSSP for the daily operation of ETD. Maybe you can bring up some topics here as well that at the end made a decision on your side.
Yes, so we're looking for experienced partners. That was a major focus, and then we had some context together. We set up some kind of RFP, and we make the decision for the, in our view, the best one. Yeah, that was what's the status why we pick up SmarterSec here. Yeah.
Okay, I think the best one. Thank you so much for that. We'll take that one. And I would say let's jump to our last slide before we go into the Q&A session. Just some key takeaways, and maybe Moritz, you want to share the key takeaways from the project and operation space.
Yeah, I guess that's also the general key takeaways. If you start such a project like an ETD project, or thinking about how you can handle monitoring and the different amounts of logs and so on, that are some general key takeaways I would like to share with you. Yeah. The first step is security monitoring with ETD. That small steps with less effort increase your SAP security posture level. Yeah, that means that's a transparency. Yeah, you get with ETD, it's quite really nice. Yeah, that has a big impact on your security posture level. And with this information, yeah, don't do any kind of security monitoring on the step. Yeah, but with this transparency you get here, you can really increase your SAP security posture level and make your SAP landscape more secure. That helps a lot. Yeah. Another point is that security monitoring, the central functionalities, provided in all marketing slides from ETD, is not the only result you reach out or you can achieve with an ETD project. Yeah, I named here the log management stuff, the forensic opportunities and so on. This is quite nice and really important stuff in addition to a clear security monitoring, from the SAP landscapes. Yeah, number third is really, it should be clear, start always small and grow now. Yeah, if you have more experience, it makes no sense to start with 16 patterns, or 100 patterns. You will get so much alert, so much false positive. Yeah, it's really important that you start with a low number and then learn step by step, with the ETD. Yeah, this is really important. Yeah, and if you set up 5 patterns, that's a security improvement. Yeah, honestly, it's the beginning. Yeah, but it will come up if you have more and more experience with the situation. Yeah. Another point, I've already mentioned before, it's really important to find an experienced partner. Yeah, if you don't have such a partner, it's not so easy to set up it. Yeah, because you cannot compare it directly with a standard SIEM solution. Yeah, you have to be someone who has a big knowledge in the SAP security area, and that makes really sense that you identify experienced partner. Yeah, you will not waste time and get here a clear structure, a clear project structure, and a clear approach. Yeah. As a last point, don't be afraid to run such a project. Yeah, I heard a lot, especially on my experience as a consultant as well, that customers are overwhelming, or it's too much to set up an ETD. Yeah, it's too much information, too much effort to do this, and so on. Yeah. Please, if you make the decision to do such thing, just do it. Yeah. You will get problems. That's completely true. But this problem will solve directly during operation. Yeah, you can set up your operation. Yeah, but have in mind, all what you do will increase your or improve your security posture level for SAP application. Yeah, it's all an improvement. So yeah, do it. Yeah, that's just do it. Yeah, I think that describes it in the right word. Yeah, don't be afraid. Start with a project and run an operation. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I would say that's the best end word to our presentation for that. And yeah, I would say we will jump into our Q&A session. So please feel free to answer all your questions. Larissa will moderate it for us today. So we are excited to see what's in your minds.
All right. First of all, thank you very much, Alexander and Moritz, for these insights and for this deep dive on how to structure things, how to set up the operation, how to get the best out of it. I think it's very helpful for the audience. And we have a question from the audience. And the question is, are there any plans from SAP to provide a solution for log outage to ETD customers in general? The health check, as you mentioned, is only half of the truth.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, it's only half of the truth. Yeah, I've mentioned it. Yeah, the health check gives us only the information that one system drops out and help not for the different log types. Yeah, SAP has recognized this problem, I would say. Yeah, and what I know is that there was a co-innovation with a customer, and this was a focus topic. Yeah, and there was some consulting development on this topic for log outage. We already use it. Yeah, we have changed it a little bit. Yeah, our construct with log outage, but I know that this consulting solution for log outage for the log types will be a part of a new SP from ETD. Yeah, so it's still recognized from the development team and it's coming up. Yeah, I don't know this year or next year, but it's on the plan. It's planned. Yeah.
All right, sounds promising at least.
Yeah.
All right. There is one more question that is actually comes very often in the discussions with the customers. You know that we are all or a lot of customers are challenged by shortage of skilled resources, skilled workforce. And you mentioned this center, this SOC, this Security Operations Center. So what skills do you need for operations of it, and how you manage this skills aspect?
Should I answer the question or will
please,
you
please,
take over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear it from SAP directly. I think it's the best.
Okay, yeah, this is a typical question. I got this from a different customer. Yeah, the problem is, yeah, you're completely right. The skill set and this deep knowledge about SAP security related problems, or this SAP security skill set. Yeah. Normally, if I go to the customer, I start with basis colleagues. That means the guys that take over the administration stuff for a normal ABAP system, for example. They will be focused and work together with me, and we develop this guy step by step and learn or teach them the ETD how it works. Yeah, so foundation of basis knowledge is a good option to be an ETD expert. Yeah. One other point, you should be some kind of awareness for SAP security. Yeah, that means you have to be interested in this topic and so on, and then you can develop it. I've mentioned it before in the takeaways. Yeah, just do it. Yeah, you will learn it on the fly, and if you have your experienced partner, yeah, you can learn it. That's not the problem. Yeah, so the basis guys are the foundation. Yeah, or if you have basis experience, that's the foundation, and later it's good to have one ETD expert in place. Yeah, the ETD expert have a broader knowledge about ETD, a broader knowledge how you can handle ETD and the different steps that do the log correlation stuff and do some kind of pattern development and so on. This is from an ETD expert. Yeah, and the SOC, maybe Alex, you can give a little bit more information what you need in a SOC to explain your setup, what you do on our side. But yeah, maybe it makes more sense that you will explain it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I totally agree what you say. So basis experience is basically the foundation. Of course, you need to run it properly, operate it properly. I would say it's necessary that you have a sapsecurity expertise in your house, in your organization for that. Because we mentioned it earlier a couple of times. It's not about just reacting on alerts. It's about understanding what this alert is about, right? So what is the user really doing in the sort system at the end of the day? And therefore, you should know about attack vectors. You should know what how a hacker thinks, how he would access critical data. So I would definitely add that as that the knowledge is necessary if you want to run it properly in that case. For the Secure Operations Center, of course, it's always the importance understanding the SAP results that come from ETD into, for example, another SIEM solution like Splunk, right? And also there we mentioned earlier our standard operating procedures. That's the case where we build the consistency, right? So for that, of course, we talked to the Secure Operations Center. They are running the SIEM solution. What Excel or what information you need from us to provide to be able to determine if it's an attack, what are the next steps, and that's all written in the standard operating procedures. Which brings in, as said, the consistency from SAP into SIEM as well. Everybody needs to know how he needs to act if it comes to an attack, right?
Right. Thank you for that. And I think it's apart from operating of this center is also a very important aspect, creating this culture of security awareness, you know, so the people who work with this are also kind of prepared for the challenges that come.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm.
I can't see more questions in the chat, and we are almost at the end of our time. The PDF of this session will be available in the description to this video. It might take some time, but definitely check it maybe tomorrow, where we definitely will integrate the link to a download of PDF. With this, again, thank you very much to our speakers. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Moritz, for all these insights. And of course, big thank you to our audience for being with us, to bringing up the questions, also for all the likes and thumbs up that we already received for this session. This is really very helpful and motivating for more sessions to come. With this, again, stay tuned with us. I wish you a great day, great evening, depending on where you are, and hope to welcome you in one of our upcoming sessions. With this, thank you very much and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.